welcome to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a foundation first impression and wear test on this foundation here. This is the DANESSA MYRICKS Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. I've been seeing this everywhere. I was really just deciding if I wanted to try this one, the Hourglass, the Bobbi Brown, the Keys Soul Care. A lot of skin tints have come out, and ultimately this is the one that I wanted to try the most. So in today's video, I'm going to be applying this foundation, doing a wear test. So taking you outside in natural daylight for a little midday check-in, showing some swatches, and then coming back at the end of day and showing you what this looks like after 8 to 10 hours of wear. So this is a first impression. I do always come back after I've tested this out a little bit further, different ways. But in today's video, I just kind of want to see where my baseline is and how I can improve this foundation. If that all sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't yet. If you like foundation videos, they are my favorite to do. But without any further ado, let's get started in the application portion of this video. I have all my skincare on, no primer, just so I can really see what this foundation can do. Now, it is good to know that I have normal leaning dry skin. I would say right now it's more on the normal side just because it's been so humid outside. It has been the rainiest summer that I've ever experienced. So there's no lack of moisture right now. I would say my skin is pretty normal. So this is what the box looks like. And I got the shade 4. I'm a little bit hesitant on this, but 4 seemed like the best undertone. 3 seemed like the undertone just wasn't going to match me. And then here's the bottle. This does retail for $36, and it comes with more than a standard fluid ounce. It actually comes with 1.58 fluid ounces. So I think that's a decent price point for what you're getting. Now, I've debated all morning just how I'm going to apply this. And even though I don't like to use fingers, I have the feeling that's going to be the best way to apply this. So that's what I'm going to do. This is supposed to give a light coverage with a radiant finish. And I'm going to go in with very little, like this much. And I'm going to just use my fingertips, I think. Now, radiant finish isn't my favorite. Typically, I like a more natural leaning matte. I think I've just kind of grown that way. I don't mind a radiant finish. I just don't want to look sweaty and wet. So I'm hoping this is like a nice in-between. That is ultimately kind of what made me hesitant to pick this up, but I couldn't resist. I don't know why. This one just kept calling my name. I kept seeing it everywhere. And I decided ultimately to give it a shot over the Hourglass and the new Bobbi Brown. Decided this one I think is gonna be the best. And right now it actually feels really nice. It feels like a very thick cream. I would say that it's light coverage. I do agree with that. And it's not as radiant as I was expecting. I don't have anything on my forehead right now. The shade's pretty nice too. The shade I would think is actually pretty spot on. I saw Morgan Turner, she also got the shade 4 and she's darker than me. So I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but since it's light coverage, it seems okay. And I was thinking that I was gonna have to go over this with a sponge, but there's no finger marks. A lot of the time with a light coverage, when I use my fingers, I always go over it with a sponge because I just see a lot more streaks, but not with this. This is pretty nice. I'm gonna do a little bit on my forehead now, even less. So here's what I have for my forehead. Now this does claim to have skincare benefits, as do most foundations nowadays. I believe it has peptides, and that's supposed to smooth texture and fill in fine lines. So I'm also just gonna see how my texture looks. I get mostly just enlarged pores on the tops of my cheeks here, and I have some fine lines on my wrinkles. Not too bad yet, knock on wood, but I'm getting there. And I'm gonna just stop rubbing this in. I tend to just go, go, go and just not stop rubbing it, but I'm actually, so far, really impressed. This looks a lot nicer than I was expecting, which is great. That means I didn't waste my money. It actually, like the coverage, even though I would agree it's a light coverage, it's more on the heavier side of light. You can see, like, you know, my dark circles on my eyes, they're covered. They're not completely covered, but they're less noticeable than I would expect from a light coverage foundation. And I'm not seeing too much redness, like around my nose I get pretty red, and there's not too much redness poking through. So far, I'm liking this a lot. This was really quick and easy. That's always really nice. So this is something that you could just take on the go with you and know that you could do this really quickly in the car if you needed to. I'm gonna now apply the rest of my makeup. I think that I will probably only powder just under my eyes, chin, and in between my eyebrows to just kind of control the oil a little bit. But the rest of my face, I'm gonna leave without powder. And I'll be back to just show you the final look before talking about my initial first impressions. Here is the finished makeup look, all nice up close and personal. So I do think that it smoothed my texture, specifically like on my cheeks here. It's really just blended in and give a nice blurring effect. On my forehead, you know, less so, but I also can't expect it to completely just erase my fine lines. They're still there, but they're definitely not emphasized, and it's not sitting in the fine lines. So, you know, right now I'm really impressed. My only just hesitation is how it wears, because right now it looks 100% perfect for me. And if my natural oils start to come through, is it just gonna start to look greasy, messy? Now, like I said, I only put powder under my eyes, on my chin, in between my brows, but I did use powder products on the rest of my face, so bronzer, blush, highlight, and I think that it turned out pretty good. I used pretty much everything from Shop My Stash, so I will link that video up above, and I will also have everything that I'm wearing listed in the description box. But I wanted to use powder to just kind of set it a little bit more rather than cream products, and I think it turned out pretty nice. So now I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. It's about 12 o'clock right now. Come back in 4 hours, show you what this looks like outside in natural daylight, and we'll just go from there. But so far, so good. All right, it has been 4 hours. It is finally sunny outside. It's so nice, which means a lot of farm noises, if you can hear the rooster, and there's some kind of clicking bug. I don't know. But let's just look at the foundation. You know, it looks really nice on the skin. My only gripe is that it's shiny. Like, this would be the time that I would powder. The light is just reflecting off of my face. I feel like, I mean, the blush is still there. Other than that, though, it looks nice. Like, it doesn't look like it's coming apart or breaking apart. It looks very one with my skin. It's just very shiny. This is where I would want to powder. That bug is super annoying, so I'll try and make this quick. I'm hoping in the next 4 hours this doesn't break down and it doesn't get too oily. I mean, I'm doing a wear test, so if I was doing this every day, wearing it just personally, I would powder and touch up. I just want to see how this wears, but it's just looking very, very reflective, and my face does feel sticky. In case you're wondering, roosters don't just crow in the morning. They crow all day. So that's my fun fact of the day. He doesn't know what time it is. So anyways, I'm going to leave you all. There's kind of just chaos going on, and I'm going to insert in swatches, and I'll see you at the end of the night. It's evening time, it's past 9 o'clock. It started storming out because the rain never ends, which is why my hair is completely frizzy and up. But let's just talk about this Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. You know, I do really like it, but by itself, it's not doing it for me 100%. I think that I just need to tweak it to my preferences, meaning powdering. It's looking less shiny. Like before, I would look in the mirror and it would just be like reflecting. So it did settle down, or it didn't get worse. The thing I'm most impressed by, quite honestly, is my complexion products. I mean, at the end of the night, you cannot see my blush this much. And I've worn this blush. This is the blush in Shop My Stash. So I've worn this blush a few times now and really gotten just a good idea of how this works. And it has never looked this bright and vibrant after 9 hours. So I'm very impressed by that. And I'm also just very impressed by how natural this looks. It's hard for me to tell where the foundation ends and my skin comes through. It looks just one with the skin, and that is what's going to make me want to reach for this over and over again, just tweaking it more to my finish preferences. I am at least happy. I was hesitant to buy this because I was worried that being a skin tint, being marketed as hydrating, that it was just going to be so glowy and sweaty, and it is not that at all. If that's holding you back, this is a radiant finish, but it is not just the extreme spectrum. It's really like a 5 or a 6 on the glow scale, where 0 is natural, 10 is put your head in a bucket of water. That's where I would put it. So for me, as someone who doesn't necessarily love a radiant finish, this is perfect. I just need to powder just a little bit more and touch it up. The fact that it just looks so natural and skin-like though, I am absolutely loving that. If you have dry skin, I could see you really, really enjoying this skin tint because it probably will just give your skin that quench that it really is looking for. Oily skin, I'm not so sure. If you like a radiant finish, you might like it. I will have to play around with this more. Maybe if you powder it, it would be okay. Just the fact that it doesn't seem like natural oils break this apart by the end of the day. For 9 hours, like this looks fantastic other than just being super shiny. So I'm very happy with this. The other foundation that I recently reviewed, the Ritual Defeat, it did not look like this at the end of the night. So this one's winning overall. However, I'm still going to test both out, just different ways. Mainly want to try this with powder, but I want to try this maybe with a mattifying primer, see if that controls the oils. Because if I could just use a mattifying primer, this, and then powder products, complexion products on top and be set, this is a really simple, just everyday natural makeup look. And I'm really impressed. This surpassed my expectations a lot, and I'm really happy that I picked this one up over the other ones that I was just contemplating with. So you'll have to let me know your thoughts down below. This came out not too long ago, so I'm sure some of you have picked it up already. If you have, let me know your skin type and your thoughts down below in the comments. But that's all I really have to say. This is a short and sweet, just final first impression. Hopefully the swatches were helpful. The wear test was helpful. But here's where I'm going to leave you all. I hope you're having a great one, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.